Well, hello, welcome to my June reading update, my TBR, and my general check-in of all of the stuff I have been doing and things that I'm planning to do, and the notions that I have of all the books that I'm going to complete. It's not because I'm deluded. If you're new here, I'm Sinead. This is my spooky corner of YouTube where I discuss spooky books, spooky films, spooky things that I've read, consumed, and am looking at in my day-to-day life. If you like what you see, if you like what you hear, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, send it to a friend, and leave a comment below recommending any books that you think I might enjoy, and also what's the best way that you know of to befriend a crow. I'm currently trying peanuts, but they keep running from me, which is astonishing because I could just fly. I thought it was time to check in about what I've been doing, what I'm planning, and a chance for me to go through all of the books that are on my list and some ones that are coming up for the summer, because I know you all need fresh ideas of books to put on your shelf and let them age like a fine wine. And I also have a DNF that I need to tell you about because it may surprise you. First, some admin. I was so pleased that the compilation video I did of the Book Ick series that I did on TikTok, people responded well to that. You people have feelings, such strong feelings. Fantastic response from so many of you about the things on book marketing in books that give you the ick, that make you cringe, that make you twitch, that make you have very, very strong feelings about why they did that. Expect a new video of me going through your comments, your book icks very soon. I can't wait to do that. That is a big cup of tea and a joy to film. These are a few things that I picked up recently that I thought I should share with you. I was at Pride Canterbury a few days ago, the Pride event for the city that I live in. It's one of the biggest in the region of England where I live, and it was fantastic. It is just such a wonderful celebration, but also a protest is what it was when it started, as Pride started. A fantastic community event, and seeing everyone come together and meeting different people, seeing everyone represented in a safe, wonderful, inclusive space. It was top. It was great. And I stumbled across Reese's Treehouse, this little stall, and picked up some goodies. Look at this badge that I got. She's so beautiful. I don't wear a lot of badges, but this will be probably on my face soon. Can't leave without some stickers. Ha! Yeah. Yep, that's a solid prediction. This is a creepy one. You can see the text on here. The text reads, "Hell is empty and all the demons are here." Also, these earrings that I have no idea where I will wear them. I'm not a big earring person.
They have little stars on them.
Yeah, I can make these work. I don't think I've shared these two books on here before, but I received them and I think a lot of people would find them appealing. I've not managed to read them yet, but they tick the box in terms of their subject matter. We have Tales of Folk Horror and Tales of the Gothic. These have both been sent to me by Red Cape Publishing. That's who produces these books. They have been compiled by Christopher Stagg. And because I love Gothic horror and folk horror, they very kindly sent me through these two copies. I've not dipped into them yet, so I can't attest to the quality, but it was a wonderful gift. I really appreciate it, and you're bound to find something in there. I'm going to go out on a limb and say you will probably find something in there you'll enjoy. One little bit of admin as well. Since starting this channel and having so many wonderful followers and subscribers, it means the number of messages that I receive, the number of emails that I get, the number of direct messages that I now come through on Instagram from people asking me to review their books has escalated somewhat. I appreciate that everyone is trying to get their books seen and they want to reach out to content creators like me and to then get to my audience as well. I appreciate that it's a really tough job. Honestly, my TBR is so huge that it's very difficult for me to say yes to the number of requests that I've got through. Please don't feel offended or upset if I can't get back to you, and if the answer is no, it doesn't mean that I don't wish you well and I don't hope that you have every success in the world with your book. If I don't get to read it, someone else will, and someone else hopefully will give it the platform and the love it deserves. To the June TBR, the huge, teetering, throbbing pile of books that I need to get through. Throbbing? That was an interesting choice of words. These come into my head. I'm not planning this. Some of these books you won't be surprised to see on the list, and then there's some new ones on here. The first book that is in the TBR pile, but it may creep into July because it has been my podcast book club pick for June, and our meeting is in July. So if I need a bit more time, I am giving myself permission to sneak that into July, but I'm really keen to read Weyward. Weyward, a book that I mentioned on my video about witches, books about witches, witchy books to enjoy, and this has been on my TBR and so many people recommended I read it. Many people gave me warnings about this book. This is not for the faint-hearted. It is heavy. It is a triple timeline about different women through history and in the modern day. Me and the Patreon book club will be reading this. I will bring back their verdict. Books that will definitely be finished in June. One that I said I would start. I said I was worried about it. I was right to be worried about it, and God damn it. I am very confident I will be finishing this in June in a short space of time. This is a book that is set in the Jim Crow era of the South, about a boy who was sent to a reformatory school that is haunted. Please go and look up the synopsis and the trigger warnings. One of these books that I started it and went, oh no, because I really enjoy the writing style of it. It is great historical fiction. I know there's horror coming. I devoured 100 pages of this yesterday, and the overwhelming feeling was of tension. I know that there is horror coming with the ghosts that are at the reformatory. I've already seen a little hint of them, but it's just this overwhelming sense of tension because we know what happened in these sorts of schools. We know the scene is set at the beginning of these incidental references to the horrifying murder and torment of black people in that era, of how everyone is sort of living on edge, waiting for the hammer to fall, knowing that something terrible is going to happen to these boys. Oh, I'm in for a long ride. Well, that was a short break where I had to run out of my office and stop my cat playing with a dead bird in my bedroom. Yay! I also have notions as far as the eye can see, that I will get through this beast in June. I have started my journey through House of Leaves, one of the most terrifying books of all time. Mind-bending, genre-defying book. I have dipped into it and I am chronicling my reading journey. I am filming it as I go. I'm going to be releasing video updates of how far I'm getting into the book, what I think of it in little bursts, and then there will be a compilation video at the end of what I think of House of Leaves, because it's not a simple book. It is written in a very strange style. It has multiple different formats in it. It is known to be crazy. People dedicate entire Reddit groups onto how to read this book. I am going through it. You're going to get my honest reactions. So my first video about House of Leaves, reading it, will be out later this week. And come with me on this journey. If you are reading this book as well, if you've read it, go to those videos, comment on it. Could be worth a live video at some point, but I will be keeping you posted on how this progresses. Now, at the time of recording this video, I was yet to actually finish a book in June. I was 9 days into the month, but it didn't mean I hadn't started some. Yes, I've actually started 4 books on the go at once, and I'm pretty confident I could just rattle through those and chuck another load on there. Now, it's not like me to have several books on the go at once. Normally I'll have a hard copy and an audiobook going. Maybe I'll have started 2 audiobooks and I'm sort of moving between them if I'm working out whether or not I like them or not. House of Leaves is an experience. It's sort of a dedicated sit down and profile kind of read. The Reformatory is beautiful, but it's hard hitting and I need a break from it every now and then. I did also start The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. Now, this is what many of you may consider outside of my genre, because it is technically a romantasy, but I'm not a big romantasy reader, generally. I find them fine. I like the odd one. I don't mind dipping into them. But I do really like Rachel Gillig because I am firmly in the camp of loving One Dark Window. One Dark Window was her book that she brought out a couple of years ago. It's a duology, One Dark Window followed by Two Twisted Crowns. For me, One Dark Window had the right balance of fantasy without it being high fantasy with 100 pages of world building before you get to a plot. No offense to the fantasy fans out there. And also some good romance and some darkness to the plot and to the magic system they had. And again, this is not an intricate over-the-top magic system. It's a magic system based on tarot cards, so I was hooked immediately. I so enjoyed One Dark Window. I loved the vibes of it. So I was obviously going to pick up The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. This is described as Gothic. This is described as romance. It's got interesting magic in it, and she tends towards the darker side of things. So I have started dipping into this. I am enjoying it. It's a really nice one that I like to sort of end the day with. I will report back to see if it is a good story overall. I don't know, but I'm enjoying it so far. An audiobook that I've started and I am pretty close to finishing is Blood on Her Tongue. This is by the same author who wrote My Darling Dreadful Thing, which was one of my top books from 2024. Blood on Her Tongue is the story of two sisters. They are twins, Sarah and Lucy. Lucy goes to see Sarah, who is married, and she is suffering from a terrible illness. She writes to her and she finds out that she's got a terrible illness. And Sarah believes that this illness has been caused after the discovery of a bog body on her property. Sarah, who's very intelligent, who's very interested in science, who's interested in these kind of, fascinating scientific historical finds, she suddenly starts to display these very, very strange symptoms. It is a Gothic read, it is dark, it is grim in parts, it is queer, it has some visceral imagery in it. You've got bog bodies, you've got possessions, you've got hints of changelings, you've got vampirism in here as well. All of these are hinted at without giving away too much of the plot. I will report back when I have completed it. Another book that I started on a whim and am enjoying so far is Honeysuckle and Bone. This is technically a YA book, but it is the story of a haunted property and a house of secrets. A young woman who goes and gets a job in a household in Jamaica. It's set in the modern day. She's got secrets. The house has secrets. It is a very enjoyable read so far. I haven't gotten very far into it, but it's delicious setting and description and scenery in there. I'm loving the way it is told, and it has a great audio narrator as well. At the moment, the plot isn't grabbing me, but I really like the journey I'm on, so we'll continue listening. Now, all of those books should be enough, but there is one book that I have to start soon because I got approved for a digital arc of House of Splinters, the sequel to The Silent Companions by Laura Purcell. Silent Companions is one of the books that I recommend as a very frightening, great Gothic horror. I love that book, have recommended it to many, many people. Many people know of how good, how scary, how original the horror is in that book and how well written it is by Laura Purcell. It is dark. It is difficult in parts, but she has written a sequel, The House of Splinters, and I have just gotten approved for a digital copy of it. It's continuing the story of the house, of some of the figures in it. I've not delved into it too much because I kind of want to go in blind. I need to refresh my memory of Silent Companions because it was a fair while ago that I read it, though the story of it has never left me. House of Splinters is not out until autumn, but I do want to get this review in early, and also I can't really wait to read it. Another arc that I've received is a collection of short, scary stories by J. Hunter Richardson, and it is Death Hovers. Now, J. Hunter Richardson wrote this book, You Are Always Welcome at the Blood Ridge Motel. This was a book that I found on TikTok, found the author, saw it, and the premise of it appealed to me, and I read it and absolutely loved it. If you are a fan of Near Dark, the vampire film from the 1980s, read this book. This was a great book, and I was really pleased that me and several other horror reviewers were able to platform this book, and genuinely because I loved it. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Gave it to my husband, he loved it too, and that really helped the sales of this book. So I was really pleased that J. Hunter Richardson sent me an arc of the new book, of the collection of stories. I will be diving into those and giving you my verdict, but do check out this book if you haven't already. I've got two fairly short books on my TBR that I'm kind of like, I reckon I could squeeze those in. One is The Unworthy, the same author who wrote Tender is the Flesh. It is about a cult, it is about religious mania. I am excited by the premise of this, and so many people have been in touch to say this one I think will appeal to you. Tender is the Flesh wasn't exactly my cup of tea, but it doesn't mean that I wouldn't go and explore anything else that author had written, because clearly very talented writer. So maybe I can fit this in. I've also got this book, Dismembered, on my list. It is a mere 111 pages. It is a Gothic novella that many people have been raving about, but it is pretty under the radar. But it was on Kindle Unlimited. You have a man travelling who learns from a beautiful woman of a story of her sister who has been whisked away by a count who is enigmatic and strange and very appealing, and her family love him, but is he conducting strange experiments and strange rituals with this girl? I mean, yes, I want to read that. I hope I can squeeze it in. Why not? I recently read a sample of Between Two Fires, a book that I've mentioned before because it is medieval horror, and it has also gotten very good reviews from reviewers I really, really like. And yeah, that sample was really good. It was really good. I don't know where the plot is going because I got to the end of the sample and was like, but more. Do I buy it? Do I buy it now? But the TBR is this high, but surely one more book can't hurt. Oh, I so want to read this. But do I read it this summer or do I save it for later? Because slasher summer is coming up and there are many, many books to be read that involve the summer camp and oh my god, I'll chase you. Now that DNF I mentioned, yes, there was a book that I have decided I will not finish for now. I reserve the right to come back to it, and it is a surprising one because it's Academy for Liars by Alexis Henderson. Alexis Henderson, an author I really like. I loved House of Hunger. I really loved Year of the Witching. Both those books, great. I had high hopes for Academy for Liars. This is a Dark Academia book. We have our protagonist Lennon, who's in a terrible relationship, and she gets a mysterious phone call from a mysterious phone box that whisks her away to this academy with many, many other students in there, but it's in a hidden world, really. The world building, the description of this place is, it's so, southern, kind of dark and really good at Dark Academia setting. But the story is not grabbing me. And I don't think this is any reflection on Alexis Henderson, who is a good writer. I just don't think, weirdly, Dark Academia is for me most of the time. Which sounds crazy because Dark Academia, the feel and the vibe of it is 100% my thing. Oh, the dark, mystic halls of old places of learning and institutes and what goes on and what secrets. Usually it's sort of imbued with secrets and skullduggery and murder. Why not? Throw some murder in there. But what really annoys me about Dark Academia is all the students. I'm not a big fan of a school setting in any kind of book that I read because a lot of it is a lot of teenage drama. And yes, this is a college, so they are adults in there. But again, it's still pretty teenage drama. And you've often got a chosen one in there. And in this one, Lennon's a chosen one. I find that trope really quite tiring. Of like, oh, okay, we've got a special one, and there's rivalry between the students, and I'm just like, okay, grow up, everyone. There was a bit more suspension of disbelief than I would normally expect. Some scenes in it I haven't really understood about, like, okay, everyone's just fine with going to this magical academy and leaving their lives and their loved ones behind. So my decision was, I just don't think this plot is for me. And given how many other books are on my TBR, how many exciting books there are that I really want to get into and dedicate my time to, I'm going to shelve that one for now. Now, if you guys have read it and you think, Sinead, there is a big, big, big plot twist coming up, there's something huge and wonderful that you're going to enjoy in this book, by all means leave it in the comments. I'm going to put it down for now and maybe I'll come back to it another time. That is a lot for June, but I've still got my eye firmly on the summer, and summer means slasher summer. Slasher summer, if you're not familiar with it, is the time where we celebrate all things slasher. Inspired by slasher films, there is a multitude of really good, indulgent, campy, fun books that channel those slasher vibes from the slasher films from the 70s, from the 80s that we know and love. Some of you may be going, I don't like slashers, ooh, gross. Slasher books are not necessarily heavily gory and really, really nasty. I mean, some of them are. You've got some pretty cool deaths in there. But I love the vibes of slasher summer because you've often got that summer camp setting, that kind of kids on bikes riding around and those summer days that never end, but then there's a mystery to be solved and oh my god, there's something dark and creepy going on in this small town or in this summer camp or in this abandoned amusement park. It's just a vibe that I love, and there's a few books on my list that I'd like to read. I think it's worth an entire video so I can give you recommendations of some of the slasher books that I have known and love and the history of the slasher book, nodding to the slasher film as well, because that is a subject I can talk about for a while. Summer Camp for Slasher Victims has been on my TBR for a while, one that is really recommended. It looks like fun. Kill River, Tastes Like Candy. I haven't gotten round to these yet, and I kind of want to. As I said, I'll dedicate a full video on summer slasher recommendations for y'all. If you have your own recommendations, leave them in the comments. There's my reading update so far for June, for everything that's on my TBR, for everything that's been on my list for a while, and some new books that I've thrown in there, because why not? If you've been keeping score, yes, there's some books that I probably mentioned a while ago that I said I'd definitely read, and they will be got to. I'm also planning some more videos on underrated horror films to watch, also recent horror films that I've seen, either that they are brand new that have just come out, and also some older gems that I've watched based on your suggestions and my verdicts on them. Always happy to bring you horror film updates. Keep your eyes peeled for my updates on my reading of House of Leaves, as well as some other videos that I've got coming out, all about book icks, book loves, collections of books you may enjoy, and some behind the scenes content. Stay spooky, bye-bye.